who work for your company, their pain is very personal, but there's pain for your company as well when any of your employees lose their lives, and I want to acknowledge that fact that you pointed that out in your testimony. And I think I'm speaking for all the members of the committee that we're sorry for your losses.
Thank you, sir.
At a company providing security services, you have a job to do, and as members of Congress, we have a job to do. Our job is to provide oversight to make sure government is working effectively and efficiently, and to identify and eliminate any waste in taxpayers' dollars. We've heard allegations that call into question the job that Blackwater was performing in Iraq. Family members raised questions, I think legitimate questions, that deserve answers about whether Blackwater is endangering the lives by skimping on protective equipment. That was the issue raised. The contracts and audits we've received have raised questions about whether Blackwater is overcharging and double billing the government. I don't know what's true or not. I haven't reached any conclusions on these allegations, but they are important allegations, and I think they should be fully investigated. I want to focus on an email you provided to us. It's an email from Tom Powell, who we understand was operations manager for Blackwater in Baghdad. It's dated March 30th, 2004, one day before the attack in Fallujah that killed the 4 Blackwater contractors. And in hindsight, it's a pretty chilling communication. The email begins, and I quote, "Ground truth. Guys, this is reality," end quote. The email was sent to Brian Berry. I understand he's a senior Blackwater executive. My understanding is he is the director of Blackwater Security Consulting. Am I correct that Mr. Berry was the director of Blackwater Security Consulting?
My understanding is that he was not director at that time, but he was certainly a Blackwater official.
Okay. Another recipient of the email was Mike Rush. Can you tell us what position he had at that time?
I believe that he was the director at that time.
He was the director of operations for Blackwater?
He was the director of Blackwater Security, is my understanding, yes, sir.
The third recipient of the email was named Justin, and we presume this is a reference to Justin McCohen, who was the program manager in charge of Blackwater's contract with ESS and Regency. Is this right?
I believe that's correct. And if I could, Chairman, those names have all been made public. Mm-hmm. But to the extent that our personnel, publishing the names of Blackwater personnel that are not public information could possibly place them at risk, I would ask that if we could find a way to identify them without publicly stating the names or perhaps go into closed session, I'm certain that they would appreciate that respect for their safety.
I appreciate what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
This is a disturbing email because if it's correct, if it's accurate, it shows that Blackwater personnel working on the contract with Regency and ESS, which is the contract involved in the Fallujah incident, did not have adequate equipment or vehicles. And it also shows that Blackwater may have been circulating situation reports that were, I quote, smoke and mirror show, and not, quote, reality-based information, end quote. Let me read you a passage from the email. Quote, "I need new vehicles. I need new comms, which means communications devices. I need ammo. I need Glocks and M4s, which are types of weapons. All the client body armor you got, guys, are in the borrowed stuff and in harm's way. I've requested hard cars from the beginning, and from my understanding, an order is still pending. Why, I ask? It is my understanding that someone in Kuwait made a decision, Suburbans that are used. Bad idea," end quote. The email ends, quote, "Ground truth is appalling," end quote. Well, my